Now, this morning, we are talking about proposals to build 10,000 new houses in East Hertfordshire. The plans will be going out to public consultation later this summer. And if they were to be approved, the homes will be built across Greenbelt land. Along with housing, the proposals include 6 new primary schools and 2 new secondaries. But should these homes be allowed to be built in this area of Greenbelt land at all? Mary Parsons, who is a director with the developers Places for People, says they want views from the East Herts community to tell them what they think.
I think both councils, both East Herts and Harlow, are consulting with local people on locations for growth in the local plan processes. So we're not trying to cut across that. What we're saying here is, come and talk to us. This is a major decision on where housing should be delivered in your area. And listen to what we're actually proposing. Look at what's on the table. And if you feel that this isn't the right area for housing to happen, then think about, well, where would it go? Where are we going to deliver? In East Herts, I think they're saying sort of 17,000 to 18,000 new homes. Harlow's saying 16,000. You know, people need homes in this area, and we have an opportunity here to be able to create something special that can really make a wider positive impact on the area as well.
Joining me now is Councillor Eric Buckmaster, who sits on East Hertfordshire District Council. Eric, it will have a positive impact on the area.
Well, I have to disagree, because I think this is actually a long line of misleading statements from Places for People. First, they were telling the community the development is inevitable because it was in the East of England plan. When that went, they tried to encourage a form of NIMBYism by telling the rest of East Herts that they could avoid any development in their towns and villages by having all the housing going north of Harlow. And now they're telling us that 10,000 new homes in the same location is little more than a string of utopian villages. In reality, it'll be an urban area the size of Bishop Stortford. So the message from Stop Harlow North has always been consistent. The infrastructure, roads, rails, sewage, water, education and health won't cope.
Well, won't they introduce the infrastructure to cope with this?
Well, the evidence is still being gathered around what's needed, to be honest, because the proposal's premature. Officers at East Herts are working really hard to gather data. There's still data that hasn't come in yet. And as Mary Parsons said, it could be a range of actually 12 to 17,000 houses across the district. And the district has a duty to have an ongoing 5-year supply of houses. When the data is in, it will go to consultation later in the year, with the aim of producing a plan that supports the entire district.
Homes need to be built, don't they, in Hertfordshire?
Of course they do, and that's why the district plan is in process, and there's a process for looking at it so that they go in the right places.
Where is the right place?
Well, the data is still premature, as I said. There's another meeting of the district panel at East Herts next month. I haven't seen the published information. It will be coming.
Are there any places that spring to mind where you could build 10,000 homes?
There aren't any places that spring to mind that can build 10,000 homes, but I'm sure that once we look at where houses are needed, and it has to be according to population growth, according to places that can take it, then, as I said, the plan will need to go to consultation. People will have a chance. It isn't just about Places for People. It's about the whole district. It's about all of the neighbouring districts.
Eric,
consulting. Go on.
We have a huge shortage of housing that's going to get worse over the next few years. Isn't part of the problem councils and councillors that and ah, that don't make decisions, that keep throwing things out to consultation, when this sounds like a great opportunity for 10,000 houses to be built? Like a huge bonus, surely, for Hertfordshire's housing problem.
Well, I don't disagree with that. There's a process that all councils need to follow legally. They have to go out to consultation. The next stage of consultation for East Herts is the preferred options. That has to be robust. It has to be based on data. People will have a chance to have their say, and then the full council will vote on it. So nobody's umming and ahhing, and people we're actually urging other councils and other bodies to actually get along and move theirs forward so that we could all make a decision.
But you've just said you don't have any other ideas of where these houses could go. Isn't that being unhelpful?
10,000 in one place. What we're saying is that 10,000 in one place, and particularly there, won't work. I'm sure there'll be a level of development in all areas across East Herts. We have to just make sure that what ultimately goes into the district plan stands scrutiny and will work and provide for the next 20 years.
So you're not against the number of 10,000 houses, but maybe you'd like to see 500 here, a couple of thousand there, and it's spread out?
Well, as I said, the range across East Herts will be 12 to 17,000. It's now looking that it could be the upper limit of that, owing to population forecasts, but not 10,000 in one place. Imagine building another town like the size of Bishop's Stortford in that particular area. It just won't work. Just take the roads. Most of the roads in the area are graded black according to latest studies because they're at absolute capacity. So I don't know what kind of infrastructure they have in mind building, but this won't work. 10,000 in one place is in the interest of Places for People, not the people of Harlow or East Herts.
Eric, I appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for coming on.
OK, thank you.
Councillor Eric Buckmaster sits on the East Hertfordshire District Council. It is that thing, isn't it? These houses, not necessarily these houses, but some houses have got to go somewhere. And again, it's another councillor, and it's similar to the gentleman we were talking about, the sex shops. Doesn't want them to go in a certain place, but is unable to offer any other suggestions. And I do think it is easy to say, no, don't do that, don't put that there, we don't want that there. But I think if you do say that, you have to be able to come up with alternatives. You have to be able to say, no, we don't want the 10,000 houses here, but I know somewhere really good where we could build 2,000 houses, and then I know another little spot where we could put 500 houses, and then you have to be able to come up with alternatives. I do think just constantly... Listen, 10,000 houses, it is a lot. Of course it is, and it would change that area completely. But to continually block and to continually say, no, without offering alternatives, without offering compromises, I don't know how particularly helpful that is.